If this is what your makeup looks like, it's dry, textured, separating, and cakey, keep watching. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do to fix it. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Saj. I'm a professional makeup artist in film and TV with over 15 years of experience in all specialties of makeup. So that means that I have a really unique perspective and tons of information to share. So let's begin. First, let's talk about why this happens when you do your base makeup. Now, this is a topic that I have been covering extensively on my TikTok. If you're here from my TikTok, welcome to the horizontal format. And one of the common things that I hear in the comments when we talk about this issue of your makeup looking flaky and really textured is that my skin looks perfectly fine until I put my foundation on. So if this is you, my darling, I'm gonna hold your hands and I'm gonna say this: it's not the foundation, it's you. I know we don't want to hear it, but this is the thing. Your skin in its natural state, barefaced, has some translucency to it, right? And we don't see the textures or any sort of issues that are there, especially if you kind of just get up and go and you haven't really done anything to your face yet, and then maybe you're just going in with your makeup routine. Your foundation is only going to be as good as the canvas that you provided. So if you think of your skin as, let's say it's a wall, it's a base, and you just start painting over it, no dusting, because you look at it and you think, oh, it's fine. And then suddenly you notice there's cobwebs stuck in the paint. There's a little bug that was on the wall, now it's stuck in the paint. You're essentially giving your face the landlord special. So I promise you, if you feel like you've been victimized by a foundation, the foundation is really just showing what's already happening to your skin. It's showing the state that your skin is in, because the foundation has pigment, it's a layer of opacity, it's a new texture. I would take that as a sign. If you put your foundation on and suddenly things start looking weird, I would actually wash it off and get my skin prep right. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is, what are the treatments that you're doing in your skincare routine currently? Are you using a lot of exfoliants? Are you doing tretinoin? Are you doing other treatments? Maybe microneedling. That's something that I went through a lot with microneedling. My skin looked perfectly fine, and then when I started trying to do my makeup, the friction and the movement caused the skin cells that were already on their way to flaking off and exfoliating off. I gave it a little advanced movement, so then it really started falling apart in that moment. Maybe just don't wear makeup for now, because it's like a temporary journey. It's not going to be permanent, so you're going to be back to where your skin is. If you aren't doing any treatments like that and you find that you have a lot of flakiness, texture, and dryness in your makeup routine, then we are going to work on your skin prep. Now, my legal department wants me to give this notice. My advice is focused on skin types, not skin condition. If you have a skin condition such as rosacea, eczema, those sort of things, you have to do what your medical treatment plan is. That is a condition. I'm talking about a skin type, which is something that we can take care of on set, on the go, in person, at your makeup vanity before you do your makeup routine. Was that good? My lawyer, was that good? Okay. I'm getting better at that. All right, so now let's get into skin prep for makeup to prevent this dry, crusty, dusty makeup routine that you guys have been plagued with. Hang on, don't skip forward in this video, because I know you think you're prepping your skin, but you're not. And you're gonna want to follow my steps. They're a little bit different than what you usually hear. There are some key things that are going to make the difference in your skin texture before you start applying that foundation. So sit down, lock in, and let's begin. The first thing you're gonna want to do is wash your face. If you're here from TikTok, you already know. Wash your face. I know that we've recently decided that our skin is just way too delicate and sensitive to wash in the mornings, and I understand that, but I also don't understand it in the year of our Lord 2025. You can't blink without a skincare product being in existence. There is a gentle cleanser that is emollient, that is nourishing, that is hydrating, that is sparkling, that will get what needs to come off your skin without sensitizing it, without drying it, without making it irritated. Because I'm sorry, if you live in this world, if you go outside, You're bringing in the outside into your pores. You go to sleep at night, you sweat, your face is on a pillow, there's moisture in between that. You roll over on your partner, you've now got your partner's moisture juice sandwiched in between you. You roll over, there's your cat hair stuck on your pillow. Roll over, there's another thing stuck in your pillow, and then you wake up and you're just gonna splash with water and go. Couldn't be me or my clients. So we're washing our face. And by the way, these steps are good for all skin types because I have oily acne prone skin, but sometimes I am experiencing a little bit of that flakiness, a little bit of that, just that texture that is there. So don't think that this is only for dry skin. To wash my face in the mornings, remember I just said that I have oily skin, I like using a cream cleanser. This was something that I avoided for a really long time because I felt like it looks like lotion. I felt like, what is that going to do for me and my oils? But you'll be surprised because it is a cleanser, it's not a lotion, but it does have what it needs to break down any excess oil, get all the extra moistures that we've collected throughout the night off our skin so that we have a clean slate to begin with. And all of the products that I'm using today are going to be linked in the description. And what I will do, I will also include alternatives for you because I know that your girl loves the bougie skincare, okay? I'm not saying you have to get these, but if you do, you will be happy. Of course, follow the instructions of your cleanser. Definitely, my oily skin girlies, the dry skin girlies, get you a nice, gentle, creamy cleanser for this first step. It is going to make such a difference because you're already starting to nourish and hydrate your skin while we're cleaning off the gunk from the night before. Now, this next step is crucial and this is going to change your life. You are going to take a washcloth to remove your cleanser. I know we think of the washcloths as something to just pat your face dry after you've done the splash that we've been advertised. That's how you remove and wash your face, right? No, we're using the washcloth to remove our cleanser. This is what we're doing. I have biodegradable cloths from Clean Skin Club. This is a few here that I like to use. Also, a washcloth. This is Stacks. This is usually how I buy them because you use this once and you put it in the laundry. So this stack is like $4. So you can buy in bulk. Obviously, you're gonna have a lot of laundry to do, right? But it's worth it. I've seen a lot of creators posting about enjoying their Clean Skin Club towels. And in the comments I see, oh, I can just pat my face dry with my bath towel. I can just pat my face dry with a paper towel. And I'm like, this isn't about pat, 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 pat. It has nothing to do with the texture of your skin, okay? So you take your washcloth. I'm going to demo both. You take both of them and you wet them, all right? I have a little bowl of water in front of me. That's my sink. I squeeze the excess out. You see, it's wet. And then you're going to take this and you're going to, my cleanser's still on, and you're going to wipe away your cleanser. With using the creamy cleanser, we're hydrating the skin and we are making the skin plump and just ready for a gentle physical exfoliation. We're not scrubbing. I'm demoing that too. We're not scrubbing at our skin. We are wiping away because the cream cleanser is also going to allow the actual flakes of skin to kind of roll up and roll away, and we're taking it off. You may not get every single thing off. This is something that you're gonna do consistently for the rest of your life. Whether you're wearing makeup or not, this is how you're going to start removing your cleanser. Do this for 1 week and you're going to see the difference in your skin and the texture and the smoothness of your base makeup routine from Monday to Sunday. It's gonna be night and you're gonna be like, who is she? Make sure you come back and thank me. So we're wiping it away. Remember that this is wet, okay? And I'm gonna take my actual washcloth, I'm gonna dunk it same way, half of it so that I don't get my whole self and set well. Okay, so wet. This is dry. I'm only using, see, yeah, it's dripping. So I'm only using the wet side and we're just gently wiping and removing. Put a little pressure, you know, like not just, like put a little pressure. If you've ever had a facial and you're lying there and you feel the pressure of an esthetician when they're using the washcloths to, I mean, some use little sponges, but pressure with the washcloth to just slide all of those dead skin cells off. Now, you may say, okay, well, what about some glycolic acid? What about an exfoliating thingamajiggy and an acid thingamabob? I love me an acid, okay? I love me an exfoliating acid, but here's the thing. On set, for film and TV, we can't do those types of products. They can be sensitizing, they can be irritating, especially to do it and then put makeup on top of it and then be outside in elements for a long extended period of time. We cannot risk any of that irritation and then halfway through the scene their skin is like really red. It's like, hey, what's going on? Or I'm just feeling really itchy, you know, something like that. So I had to think of a way to get the results of what a chemical exfoliant might give right now in the moment. And the other thing, we know that with chemical exfoliants, it's a gradual process also. I mean, you're getting up this morning and you're trying to get your base makeup ready to go out now. You need immediate results. So this is going to give you immediate results. So in the evening, you can do your exfoliating acids, and that will help, especially with what we're now doing in the morning as we do our makeup for the day. I say all of that to say immediate results versus like an extended release. We don't always have time to wait. We're not always patient. And let's be honest, half of you are dry and flaky because you're over exfoliating anyway. There's also that. I already know you're gonna ask, do you need to wash after doing this? No, because the washcloth is gonna be soaking wet. That's the water that you need. You need a creamy cleanser. Those don't necessarily wash away, so you really still would need something to wipe it away. So the combination of the wetness and the wiping, it's gone. My skin feels clean. There doesn't feel like there's any residue or anything that's on my skin. My skin doesn't feel stripped. It feels clean, it feels soft, and it's ready for the next steps. Now, the next thing we're going to do is hydrating layers. So there's a difference between hydrating and moisturizing. Easy way that I like to explain it, hydration is water and moisturizing is like more oil based. If you're thirsty, are you going to drink a bottle of salad dressing or are you going to drink some water? I mean, I don't know, the Dirty Martini girls may be challenging this. Hydrating layers. So in between the layers of the dryness and the flakiness of your makeup, you may also notice like a separation in the actual texture of your makeup. It may look crackly, or what you may see is almost like the foundation is missing and then there's just little spots of pigment left behind. The way I like to explain that is your skin is kind of eating your foundation. A lot of foundations now come with a lot of skincare, a lot of skincare ingredients, skincare benefits, nourishing, hydrating, all of that. And if you're not feeding your skin enough nourishment before, your skin is gonna take all of those ingredients out of the foundation formula and you're just left behind with like the little colored pigment. So what you need to do is feed your skin first with hydrating layers. These are watery textured products, all right? Usually you will find this in any K-beauty routine. This is honestly where the hydrating toners have come from because we know more of astringent and exfoliating and drying and stripping. Those are the toners that we mostly know of. These are just nourishing, extra vitamins, extra minerals, extra plumpness for the skin. The two that I'm using today, the Tatcha Essence and this one from Is Clinical, this is the Copper Firming Mist. So the way I like to use these is you need multiple layers of this. If you think you've done enough, do more. You cannot overhydrate unless you're doing a milky textured version. That's fine too. Feel yours. If it feels really slick, then there's a lot of like serum in that. And the skin can only absorb so much. So what I would do just like a clear liquid hydrating toner and your milky hydrating toner. And we're gonna start off, if you do that, you're going to start off with the clear one first and then do your hydrating milky toner. Okay, so that was layer 1 for me, and you just pat and you just press this in. This is going to feed and plump your skin in a way that you will never stop doing this once you see the results. Okay, and this one I'm spraying in. So this is what, layer 3? We did 2 of the Tatcha. I have to keep my eyes closed with this one because this one stings a little bit if I open my eyes too quickly. And I'm gonna do 1 more layer. I used to see a lot of, yeah, I do all of that, I do all of that. I know you don't. Because you're like, I do all of that, and still it's like, so then it wouldn't be. It would not be. Now, the next thing is, this is where you would do your serums. I get asked about, where does vitamin C fit into this? Oh girl, you can do it now. Your treatments, your serums, this is where you do your treatments and serums. I just like to do a hydrating serum. This one is from Jordan Samuel Skin. This is the Hydrate Facial Serum. I'm just gonna do a few pumps of this one and apply it. Sometimes I would do the Deliverance serum from Juice Skin, but I am running low and Charlotte still has not released it in jumbo size. Oh, you thought I wasn't gonna do that on YouTube too? Yeah, no, we are. After you do your serums, we're going to do an eye cream because sometimes we do have that dryness and that texture on our under eyes. A lot of us have been told that eye creams don't matter. In this house, we do an eye cream. One of the things that you want to look for in your eye cream, this is from Fenty Skin. You want a nice thick eye cream. I describe this as a waxy texture. It doesn't mean that it's made of wax. Okay, I'm giving you a mental visual so that when you go shopping for products, you play with the texture and you feel, okay? Does this feel like kind of waxy-ish, thickish texture? Yes, then that's the one. You take this texture eye cream because it is going to, 1, hydrate, and then it's also going to sit well underneath your concealer product. Sometimes I find with serum, like the really runny eye serums, sometimes there's ingredients in them that pill after they've set, and then you've gone on to other steps, you find around here starts pilling. Like that's the actual serum sort of peeling away. That happens a lot with under eye patches. Some under eye patches, you know, because as I said, your skin only absorbs so much and the rest sits on the surface and then it dries. So that excess that sits on the surface, when you start maybe using your concealer brush or sponge, it's gonna roll off the excess that's sitting on the surface of your skin. So you're not gonna experience that with this thicker texture eye cream. And they also, you know, help to plump and smooth any fine lines a little bit. Now is where your moisturizer comes in. What we're doing, we are locking in the hydration that we've placed into our skin, deep into our pores, into our dermal layers with a moisturizer, because this is like sealing it. This is like locking it in. This is the Air Angel Gel Moisturizer from Juice Skin. Now, when you are applying your moisturizer, do not apply 15 pumps. You only need a small amount of moisturizer. What you need a lot of is the watery texture. This has done the heavy lifting in hydrating your skin. Then you lock it in with your moisturizer. This is the final seal. This is the final burst of a little extra hydration, and this also gives the, I wish you could feel how smooth my skin feels right now. And this is the final smoothing effect for your skin, which is now prepped and ready to begin your makeup application. Now that we've prepped our skin, let's get into the actual makeup application. So the next step is going to be the right primer, and the right primer is going to be no primer. Your skin is primed, your skin is prepped. Primer is one of the leading causes of separation in your makeup routine. Primer is ruining your lives. It's ruining your makeup throw it away. I said throw it away. I'm waiting. I'm not impressed when you put your primer on and you're showing all of what sticks to it. When did we think that suddenly if I turn sideways, my foundation is gonna fall off? Who said that? Your skin is primed. All of that work that we've done, look at my skin. It is ready to go. But I have to talk about some things first, because we also need to talk about the texture of foundation that you choose, especially if you have that dry texture to your skin. You want to also have a foundation that's going to help you and not work against you. So the texture of your foundation, like I talk about the texture of the eye cream, you want a foundation that is a little thicker in texture. So this is a runny and lightweight foundation, and I'm going to take another foundation. These are both foundations that I love, by the way, but every formula, every texture, whew, has its place and has its benefits. You just want to have formulas that will work for you, will work with who you are, will work with your lifestyle, will work with your skin type, and you don't have to be on a struggle bus trying to become a scientist to put on foundation. Right, so you can see the second foundation has not moved, right? Both liquids. The second one, it squirted, but it hasn't moved. It's sitting in place. This one is running on about her business. Okay, she has places to go, things to see. Avoid this texture if you have a lot of texture on your skin. This is too fluid, this is too lightweight. It's gonna move around and it's not going to help smooth, it's not going to help hide any of that. Now, I know you may think, oh, well, that's what a primer does. Okay, yeah, sure. But a primer doesn't like a foundation. It does not. So then the primer is gonna do all of that, and then it's gonna fight with your foundation and push your foundation off your skin. Because I know you guys thinking that you're making something stick, but you're not. Okay, so this is the foundation that I'll be using today. It is from Hourglass, and it's the Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. Now, our foundation tools. You are going to avoid brushes to apply your foundation, especially if you have that flakiness and that dryness to your skin. And the reason why is the brush, if you look at the way you apply with a brush, this is what you guys do. This is what I say to do. Whatever that movement is, that friction, you are going to be lifting any flakes, any texture that might be left behind. So we're going to avoid brushes. The beauty sponges, the beauty blenders, the foundation sponges are going to be your best friends. Now, to use the sponges, you want to use them wet, just like we did the washcloth. I don't want you to do this move. Okay, we're not putting fragrance on the sponge. You want it wet. So you're going to put it under the sink, under the tap. You know, I have my cup sink, okay? All right, she's in there, she's swimming, and then squeeze the excess out, because of course, don't have running water out of your sponge on your face, okay? So do you see she is wet in comparison to this one? Can you see wetness on camera? I sure hope so. That is what you're going to need, because that is going to help you sort of maintain not just hydration in your skin, but on the surface as we're applying foundation, which again, it's just going to help anyone else who wants to show up, who wasn't showing up during the skin prep process. So foundation, I always like to do one pump on the back of my hand. We're tapping in. We're using the egg shape to work with us. This allows us to lay against the face. The point helps us get into corners, like so, right? So you tap and you press. None of this. I don't want to see any of this. All right, you cannot afford to start pulling more flakes up. So we are tapping as we are applying. And you're going to do an entire layer over your skin like this. Now, when choosing your foundation formula, I also strongly advise looking for a long wear formula. And the reason why is depending on what your skin is really like, right? You have to use your eyes, you have to look at your skin, you have to use your ears and listen to what your skin is telling you, because it's yelling and you're not listening. But since we're on foundation, I want to mention it now. So definitely look for a long wear formula that will set, that is self-setting, so that you can get away without doing powder or just a teeny tiny amount of powder, because especially for, you know, the tretinoin texture skin girlies, that is also going to emphasize that texture. I like how this looks. I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation still showing through, but I'm also just gonna do a little bit more so that you guys can see that we can layer up. And this is also what is going to always help you get that really nice skin-like finish. Now, another thing that you can do instead of the sponge, and also you can do this whenever you feel like you need a little bit more coverage in certain areas, you can spot correct with your foundation. So you can take that foundation on your finger, and because your finger isn't wet, you're going to get more concentration of pigment in that area, so it is going to give you more coverage. The warmth of your finger is going to make sure that it is blending in seamlessly with the rest of the makeup that you've already applied. And because we're doing this in targeted areas, again, we're preventing that overall thick and cakey look that may happen with your foundation at times. And we're still going to be using this same pressing motion. We want to make sure that we are avoiding lifting any texture. And if you don't have a sponge, you can apply your entire makeup like this, but because you do have to tap, that will take a little bit of time. But I like giving options for different lifestyles, you know, because that's really key to if you're gonna do it or not, if it's gonna work for you or not, you know. Let's do a little under eye concealer too, again, just in case you have any of that dryness and that texture under the under eyes. We're going to do fingers for this. I prefer a finger for under eye concealer over a sponge. Of course, you can still use a sponge. You would want to use the exact tip. What I'll do, actually, let's do sponge for the under eye on one side, and I'll do my fingers on the other side. I like to start off with some under eye corrector because I need it. This is Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish Corrector. I've been using this for a while. I use shade 2 medium, and for the sponge, I'm going to tap in right with the tip, and then I'm going to press that into place. I go up into this inner corner here because I have some purple up there also. And then I'm going to take my finger, just a little bit on my finger, and then we're going to tap. What do you think? Do you see a difference? Is there a side that you prefer? Let me know in the comments. Now for concealer, I'm going to do the House Labs concealer, one of my favorites. And it's interesting, while the foundation is too light in texture, the concealer is great because this has more of a gel-like consistency. You can see what that texture is. See, she's sitting there. The foundation would have already gone. She gotta go. Yes, this is the finger side, right? Okay. Yeah, so we're tapping, and then I'm gonna do the sponge again on the other side. I just need a tiny bit more to add to that for our sponge side. Again, right at the tip of the sponge. I'm curious to know which side you guys like the most, for fingers for the under eye or the sponge for the under eye. So this is our finished foundation. Now the next part, which is a little bit tricky, especially for, you know, that dry, textured, flaky skin type, powder is going to really show things up, and it's going to emphasize any texture that's there. Just like I said in the beginning, when you think, oh, my skin looked perfectly fine until I put the foundation on, and now your foundation looks perfectly fine until you put the powder on. You see it, you see how that works? If you want to do a powder. The most luxurious, finely milled powder. The powder needs to be so finely milled you're not even sure that you're holding powder in your hands. I could be holding that powder right now and you won't even know it. It's actually right here. Do you see it? It's so finely milled. Some powders that I like, I'm going to show you guys. Hourglass loose powder, the Chanel loose powder, and the House Labs loose powder. And then pressed powder, I really like Ashanta Sharif. She's a pro makeup artist, and this is her pressed setting powder. This, I'm so glad that it's pressed, because if it wasn't, we wouldn't see it. You cannot make powder your personality. There is no baking, no under eye baking, none of that for your skin. It cannot take it. It is not going to look good. I'm going to use this pressed on one side, and then we're going to do loose on the other side. Now, to set with a loose powder, if you really must, if you feel like your foundation, it's not staying well, it's not really long wear, you can take the bottom of your beauty blender. I'm going to tap into, you see here, and I'm going to pounce this onto the bottom of my hand a little bit more because it's damp too. It's clinging onto the powder a little bit. And this side was our sponge side, right? So I'm just lightly pressing this. The dampness of the beauty blender is again going to help counteract any kind of dryness that wants to make an appearance. And you can see that it is setting, like the powder is actually pressing into the foundation and locking it in place. It's taking off that little wet layer. Yeah, you can see it. So you can see powder, you can see unpowdered. Okay, on the other side, I want to show with a pressed powder formula and with a velour puff, because these are also going to be really nice to press your powder in. This is one from Rare Beauty. You can see that it is tight knit. I'm not sure if that's the correct term. It's tight knit, it's not long hair fibers, right? It is very soft, and the texture of this is going to do the same thing that we're getting with the damp sponge. Pressed. Tap in, just lightly press into the skin. Oh, this looks better than the Chanel side already. I feel like the pressed powder looks less powdered, but it's set. I told you guys, this is invisible powder. It looks like a cream on my finger. I hope it is that registering? It looks like a cream. Like, are you kidding me? This is our final foundation application. We have no dryness, we have no flakiness, we have no texture. We simply have a smooth and radiant skin-like finish base makeup. Now, if you feel like you want a little extra longevity in your base, then you can definitely go over with some sort of setting spray. Make sure that it is not an aerosol can setting spray. You guys have been digging into the Pro Makeup Artist kits. You need to climb back out. For your 9 to 5, for your little matcha truffle fries and Caesar salad brunch, you don't need those aerosol fixing sprays, okay? They dry and lock you down in a way that you do not need, and it will not look good, because again, you will have just reversed every single thing that we have done. So there's nothing wrong with using these liquidy, watery, you see where it's at? We've circled right back, okay? Watery, textured setting sprays. Now, there are some of them that don't have any setting power. They are just hydrating sprays that refresh your makeup. which is fine, but they don't set. So what we're talking about is getting extra longevity and something that sets. So make sure that it's a setting spray. Milk Makeup setting spray is great. This is the new one from Makeup by Mario. The Surreal Skin setting spray is great. And from Laura Mercier, this is the Translucent Pure 16-hour setting spray. So something like these, you know, the Urban Decays, the Skin Denivas. So you can do any one of these sprays, keeping your base locked in, giving it extra longevity while maintaining the hydration and all of our effort and work that we just put into making sure that we have a nice skin-like finish without the texture and the dry and the flaky and the crusties. I went and I finished my makeup look. I added some bronzer, some blush, a little touch of highlighter, and a little brow, a little mascara, and some lipstick. And I applied these products using the same techniques that we did for our foundation. Let me know if you'd like me to sort of go into more detail on that, on how to now apply your color products on top of your foundation to prevent that flakiness from happening. Of course, keeping in line with what we've been doing, we've been using wet and creamy products, not too many powders. So I did only use wet color products. So I used some of the Rare Beauty Contour, the NARS Afterglow Liquid Blush, and I did do a little bit of cream also from Tom Ford. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you need any more help with your makeup routine, you can check out any of these videos. And as always, I hope this helps.